Hello people, it's Claudio here. As you know, here in Italy we are under a strict quarantine due to the coronavirus. And it's been a month since we are closed in our homes. As I said, and as you can see, I record on and mix on analog tape. You can find something here on the channel that are the live sessions that I make. I'm here today because I want to talk about my DIY Plate Reverb. I really love Plate Reverbs. Unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to hear one in person. I've saw a few of them in some studios, but I never really heard any of them in real time. So I decided to try to create one of them using all the things that I could find in my home. I made two of them. The first one is this, as you can see in the photos. I started out very slowly and then I tried to progress, and then when I was a little bit more sure of what I was doing, I found another big plate in my basement and I decided to make a bigger one that later on we will hear some samples from it over voice, guitar and hopefully drums. That's it. We're going down to the basement to see it now. Here you can see the second plate that I made, the biggest one. I started out by cutting out the plate. I found this plate here in my basement, but it was really big, so I had to cut it out. And then I brought from the studio to the basement this piece of food that I used as a goggle. After that, I just made some holes into the plate, and I used some metal wire to keep the plate from the sides, the up and the down part, to keep it right in the middle and in tension. After that, I had some old speakers laying around. In the first project, I've glued them right into the plate, but they were small and the plate was small too, so they stayed. With this one, I tried without glue, but wasn't a success, and so I had to take two planks of wood, made a hole in them, the best that I could, and I placed the back of the speaker into the hole, and then I hot glued the hole and the speaker together. Then I placed some nails to keep up in position the planks of wood and the speaker, and I've pushed a little bit the speaker into the plate, so because you must keep the contact to make the plate resonate in a better way. As I said, I used two speakers. One, it works like a normal speaker, so it sends the signal. The other one is wired backwards, so it works as a microphone. If you have the opportunity, you can use a transducer. The transducer was in the original project, EMT project, and it works in a better way. So transducers are way better. That's it, and now we are going to see how I wired the things in the studio. The DMT Plate Reverb, they had preamplifiers and amplifiers to send and receive the signal in a way, but I didn't have an amplifier to send enough signal from the board to the plate, so I ended up using this. It's a cheap headphone amplifier that I've been using quite a lot for headphones. But nowadays I just use other methods to monitor the headphones of the musicians. So I started using this one. It's a really cheap one, you can find it on the internet for nothing. And it's very useful for the things that I'm doing right now, because you can send a signal, you had 4 outputs, and in fact I'm using one for the big plate, one for the small plate, and one for the spring that I'm fixing. And one I'm trying also to make myself an echo chamber, but we will see. So I'm sending the signal from the board, but in the board, like for example, if I send a voice, I will use the bus number 1. So I've connected the board into the headphone amplifier through the number 1 bus, through the bus number 1. And so I can decide how much signal it goes into the plate, and I can send more signal also with this one if I need it. And that's it for for sending the signal. After that, the signal is now into the plate thanks to this, and is received by the other speaker, and when it's received from the other speaker, it returns through this little mixing console that is an old peach. As you can see, I write something: small plate, spring, and big plate. And with this I can decide how much signal in return I want now. After that, I've connected this mixer through the patch bay with the board, and I use channel 16 and channel 1 that I don't usually them on the recorder as a return for the whole thing. So I've panned the channel 16 on the right and the channel 1 on the left, and off I go. This is how I wired my Plate Reverb.
Sto pensando a te, Veronica, stasera. Sto pensando a te anche se tu non lo sai. Mentre bevo un po' di rum, perché dormire non si può, penso a quante giornate che avrò. Sto pensando a te, Veronica, stasera. Sto pensando a te anche se tu non lo sai. Mentre bevo un po' di rum, perché dormire non si può, penso a quante giornate che avrò.